The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine, presented by Gillette. I'm Nick Eatman. And let's talk a little Cowboys football. We are into December now, for sure. Playing 4 games to go. Still in it. Cowboys are still in this thing, thanks to the Chargers, who knocked off the Eagles in overtime Monday night. And just for a second, I don't know if anyone else did this, but just for a second, I started thinking, because what happens if the Eagles tie? And then, you know, we haven't factored that in, and so it was actually probably pretty favorable for the Cowboys because, you know, if they're going to do anything here, then, you know, they're going to have to. If they could tie, it would go down to division record. I know the, you know, Eagles have already lost to the Giants, and would probably have to lose another division game as well. So it didn't happen like that. Cowboys still 1.5 games behind the Eagles. Now, the Eagles do have a favorable schedule for sure. Raiders, Washington twice, at the Bills. The Cowboys are going to have to win out. But you know what? We're in it. We're in it here. We're still in this thing. We're still going to talk about it. That's something, you know, that's what we wanted at this time of year. And so that's definitely what where the Cowboys are. So we'll talk about it. 888-855-2297. Let's start off. Greg in Sacramento. Greg, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, it's funny you mentioned the tie because I thought that same thing outside for a quick second. I was like, what if they tie? What is that going to do? But anyway, you know, I know I got to be quick, so I just want to say, never give up on the season. You never know. I mean, I know we had that gauntlet right there, and we beat 2 out of those 3 tough teams. You know, the Lions always play us tough, but at the same time, I feel like Washington always plays the Eagles tough. So I think those games they have coming up against Washington will be very, very interesting to watch. But, I mean, like you said, we're not out of it. So just want to, you know, hope for the life of the Cowboys Nation and just let everybody know, don't give up on the season just yet. You know, we're still in it by far, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, and we're still rolling. You know, we can still kind of win some things, I feel like, in the postseason. You know, with the defense, we can get it together. But that's all I got for you today, Nick. Thanks,
Greg. Appreciate it. You're right. I mean, you can't give up on anything yet. And you know, Washington typically does play the Eagles well. But, you know, that being said, they're going to play the Cowboys well, too. So you want them to keep playing. And they did not do that last week. They lost on Sunday to the Vikings 31-0. So have the Vikings turned it around? Has Washington quit? We'll see. You know, you hope not on that. You hope not on either one, really, but that's kind of the way it is. Let's go Sergeant Sue in Fort Worth. Sergeant Sue, what's up?
At ease, everybody. How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I hate the Eagles. Okay, so real quick question.
Fair.
Who is one player that you feel has been playing maybe below expectations that we really need to get back to par for this team to really have a shot at running things during the final stretch?
Below expectation? Pick yours.
Yeah. For me, it's Ferguson. He brought swagger. He brought attitude to the offense. He was Dak's security blanket, so to speak, and now he's somewhat of a liability. He hasn't lost all the fumbles, but he's had a little problems with, holding on to the ball. You know what I mean? He just hasn't really been that guy. So I just wondered, who you thought maybe and maybe who the other listeners thought, and I'll hang up and listen to them.
That's a good question. You. Yeah. I mean, Deron Bland's not playing as well right now as I thought he would. That's one guy. Turpin, you expect a big play or two here and there. I guess he had one. What game was that? Where he had one at maybe Arizona? No, where he had one. Where he made a play over the middle. No, they won that game. I think that was Philly, where he had a big play right before halftime, and that was big. But I mean, as far as in the return game goes, but that Ferguson, that's not a bad pick either. There, I like that one. Ferguson kind of sort of is what it is. I mean, with him, he's got to hang on to the football. I mean, he's fumbled some here. He had a huge fumble against Detroit. He had a big fumble against Philly. It just went out of bounds. They got very fortunate there. So he's made some plays. He's not the most dynamic player. He doesn't have the best average in the world, but he does have some catches, career high in catches, and he's gonna, that's gonna, keep going up probably. So I think he hits a big incentive if he hits 85 catches, and so he should be right around there. As well, but Ferguson's a good answer there. I went with Bland. Expectations in the season, I expected way more from Kenneth Murray, and so, but now you kind of think, all right, well, that's probably what it is. Dante Fowler, I expected a lot more from Dante Fowler too. So it's probably somebody on the defensive side of the ball, for being honest. Donovan Wilson, Hooker. I mean, I think we all expected more from Diggs. He's been hurt and out, but yeah, you expected more from that too. So, all right, Aime in Napa, California. Aime, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Nick? I just, man, I know I've been beating the drum about the linebacker situation, but do you see Wilson getting the green dot and just playing all of the game and moving Murray to special teams? And then also, is Diggs just an automatic plug-and-play guy when he comes back, or is he going to play this week? Yeah. And that's about it, man. Thanks for everything that you do, and I'll keep on trying to call in. Let's talk to Cowboys. You and Chris have a good one.
Thanks, Jaime. Appreciate that. I'm done trying to guess on Trayvon Diggs. This is what I know. If he plays again, he'll wear number 7. That's it. That's what I got. That's what I got for you. You can't get this anywhere else. That's what I know about Trayvon Diggs is he'll wear number 7 when he does play again, if that happens. Other than that, man, I don't know. I really don't. And I wish, I know I'm supposed to, but I just don't. I don't know if he knows. I mean, he thought he was going to play, and it didn't work out. I mean, there are some people that have told me he'll never play again, and right now he hasn't. I still feel like there's a good shot for it, but I'm just done trying to guess on the Trayvon Diggs situation and what's happening and why he's been out and what injuries was the one that kind of set him back the most. I hope he comes back, because I think he really does help this team. And as for Logan Wilson, that's why they traded for him, right? I mean, they traded for him so he could get in there and play. And I think most people thought it would be a lot sooner than this, but this will be his 5th game since he got here, and everything was moving really fast, when he first got here, and it's just been game. Now you get a little bit of a break. I think this might be a good time to do that. As for Kenneth Murray on special teams, I don't know if that's the best answer either, but you'll see some changes on special teams for sure, because what we saw the other night in Detroit, that basically lost him the game, just giving Detroit so much good field position there. All right, let's go, Chris in Saratoga Springs. Chris, Saratoga Springs, you there?
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Just want to thank the Chargers last night for beating down on those Eagles. Happy about that.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions, and I want your comments on them. As far as the special teams and kickoff, why don't we just kick the ball through the end zone? And what, do they get the ball at the 35 when we kick it through the end zone? That's one. I want your opinion on that. 2, offensive line, what's your opinion on, me, I'm a huge Brock Hoffman fan, and since he's been out, I think our line has not done as well as when he was in there. What are your thoughts on putting Hoffman back, let's say at center, moving BB to guard, and then moving Tyler Smith to right tackle? I really think, Tyler's, I know how good he is at guard, but I think we have more of a tackle problem than a guard problem. And I think Tyler could move right over there at a right tackle position and do a lot better than what we're having at that position right now. So that's my 2 questions for you. My prediction for the game, I like the Cowboys beating the Vikes 31-21.
All right. Sounds good. 31-21. I think as far as kicking it off, no, kick it off like they do. They'll catch it at the 1 or 2, and then just go tackle the guy. How about that? Just stay in your lane, go tackle the guy. That's what they need to do. Go do that. Don't give them the ball at the 35-yard line. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed, the 35-yard line is very favorable. Obviously, it's better than the 45, which is what you're saying. But how about just go tackle the guy? Yeah, work on it out here in practice. It's not that hard. I mean, these return men aren't Kevontae Turpin, and they're having all this success. Stay in your lane, go down there and make the tackle. And that's pretty much my take on that. Sorry, I know that's just it's plain and simple, but that's what they need to do. It's what every other team in the league is doing. I think there's a coaching issue there. I think that there's a personnel issue as far as coverage goes. I wouldn't get cute and say, oh, well, just throw my hands up, and I guess we have to just kick it out of the end zone now, 35-yard line. No, just go tackle the guy. All right, let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, and one of the last callers here, we had Chris in Saratoga Springs. I had to go to break, but he had two questions. The first one that he was asking was like a lot of shuffling on the offensive line there. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that the coaches probably know their players more than we do. I mean, I would hope. And, evaluating personnel is a big part of it. But I think that even though I don't see it that much, I don't see Hoffman and Beebe being a huge difference. They obviously do, and I don't think it's even down to who's drafted and who isn't. I mean, I don't necessarily think that Shoddy and this staff does that. I mean, I think that they're going to play the best guys, and I think they feel like that Beebe is better, way better. Also from a communication standpoint, just with making the calls and things like that. Tyler Smith, I think would be a pretty good tackle. I think he's a phenomenal guard, and I think it's a situation just like Zach Martin, just like Larry Allen, where let's get the guy where he's dominant, and let's keep him there. I'm not a big hater on Terrence Steele. I don't think he played that well against the Lions, but I'm not a big fan of making 3 or 4 changes just for one, especially at this point in the season. All right, let's go to Chris San Angelo.
Mr. Nick, how you doing today, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Speaking of coaching, I just have a couple of things. I was wondering if there any other offensive coach on the staff, like Adams or Dorsey, have they ever called plays before? Because to that thinking, I'm thinking maybe it'd be a good thing to have Schottenheimer being able to focus on kind of everything during the game, defense, special teams, and, even like work on the refs a little bit. I have that, and then on defense, do you think they're just going to be a little more forgiving of Coach Eberflus just to get him a year and an off season under his belt and hope that there's an expect big improvement from him after that in the future.
Yeah.
That's all I have, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. A couple of coaching questions here. First of all, my opinion on head coaches that are calling plays, I never really had much of an opinion on that until like this year. And I've seen it a couple times, not just with the Cowboys. My college teams had that, and I don't really like it anymore. I don't think I love that. I think you can have an offensive coordinator. He's got to be someone that the head coach trusts, and they pretty much can finish each other's sentences. I think that's very, very important. But I think sometimes it gets you in trouble when you're the head coach. I saw it the other night with the Chiefs. Andy Reid thinks that Patrick Mahomes is going to make the play, and why wouldn't he think that? But he put his team in danger by doing it, and I think it happens too many times. 4th and goal, down on the 4, like, Dak, he's got that. We run it in practice all week. Boom, boom, it's going to be there, Ferguson or Pickens in the corner, and it's not. And then you waste a chance to get a field goal. Sometimes it is. Let's not say it doesn't always happen. Sometimes they do convert on 4th down. But I just think sometimes the head coach gets in the way of the offensive coordinator, really probably vice versa. The offensive coordinator gets in the way of being the head coach. So I don't know if I love that. Now, changing it right now, Chris, I don't know about that. This is the tweak season. This isn't the head coach coming in his first year saying, I'm not calling the plays anymore. I've got the number 1 offense in the league, and I'm not going to call the play. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe it's something that you look at maybe later on if that's something what he's going to do. But I don't think that's probably the issue. But I do agree with you though. Overall, I think I like my head coach, kind of being a manager of everything. More than just that. And then as far as Eberflus goes, I think Eberflus is going to get I think he'll get another year. I think we saw give him some players, and I think maybe a little bit more time, but give him players more than anything, and I think they'll be fine. All right, let's go, Michael, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
All right, man, I'm gonna be kind of quick here, but hey, one funny thing. I always imagine Rob from Vegas working in like an office, having a secretary like call you, hey, let me know when I got StoryLine, and he turns out to be a phone man just like me. That's kind of crazy. But no, I think they say if we win out, we got a 40% chance of making the playoffs. But hey, Jalen Hurts can't keep up with his helmet. He throws an interception and has a fumble all in the same play. So I think we got a pretty solid chance. Probably won't, but I think we got a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think you got to beat the Chargers too. I know the Vikings is first. I know that. I'm not trying to jump ahead. Got to beat the Vikings. But I'm just saying the Chargers are a pretty good team too. So yeah, you got some games. The Cowboys. It's uphill. There's no doubt about it. It's uphill, but it's like if you're playing golf, it's not a great shot, okay? You can see it. It's uphill. There's a bunker here and all this water right here, but you can see the flag. Now, you're going to have to hit one hell of a shot to get there, but at least you can see that flag and it's there, and that's the target goal. So, I don't know. I haven't played golf in like 3 years, so I don't know if that analogy hits, but
that's a good analogy.
Seems good to me, right?
Awesome
You can use it because a lot of times, believe me, I've had a lot of shots where I can't see the flag. I can see the green. It's right here, but it's the wrong hole. You know what I mean? I'm actually supposed to be hitting over there. All right. Let's thanks for the call, Michael. Appreciate that. Let's go to another break here on Cowboys Storyline, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
The 2026 NFL Pro Bowl vote is open. The roster is up to you now through December 15th. Cast your ballot to send your favorite Dallas Cowboys to the Pro Bowl games in San Francisco. Don't wait. Go to probowl.com/vote today. Who's making the Pro Bowl for this team? I think they'll have a few, maybe a handful. There's been times where the Cowboys had more Pro Bowlers than they had wins in the season. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. I could see 4 or 5 guys making it for sure. All right, let's go to Jeff in Salt Lake City. Jeff, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, good. I just hearing the last call you had talking about Eberflus, and you think that he'll possibly get another year. I know the front office wants some continuing, that word. But just a quick question for you, or your thoughts. We always hear about good coaches or coordinators will adjust their scheme to the players. Mm-hmm. With this defense, it seems like Eberflus wants the players to adjust to his scheme. One issue that I have is basically with the secondary. We have press man corners, and I am so tired of seeing them playing 10 yards off. We drafted Revel as a press man corner, and he's playing zone defense primarily. So what are your thoughts on that? We've always heard that you should adjust the scheme to your players, but I don't see it with this defense.
Yeah.
And I'd like your thoughts, and thanks for taking my call, Nick, and you have a good day.
All right, you too. Boy, Jeff, I wish I had a better answer for you, because you're right. These guys, they are, especially like Diggs. Now, we didn't see that earlier in the season there as well. Revel, I think it's a little different, him coming off the injury. I think now he's still learning how to play in this league. And so I think, sure, he was a press man coverage, at East Carolina in the American Conference. He could do that. I think a lot of, and that happens a lot with corners that kind of move from any play. It doesn't matter if you're playing at Ohio State. I mean, it's going to be different when you go to the league. And so, he hasn't seen that. These are his preseason games. So he's still trying to figure that part out. So I don't know if Revel is the best example there, but you're on to something there for sure. And I think it's got to be a little bit of a mix. You know what I mean? It's not just, all right, I got to see these players, and now here is here is my game plan for that. You have to have a plan in place, and I think that's what Eberflus does. And then you make a little adjustments here and there, and I bet you there is some give and take to that. I mean, I guarantee the players have kind of come forward a little bit. This is the scheme that they're in. They need to adjust somewhat. And then I'm sure that Eberflus has tweaked some things as well to work with the personnel. So I don't think it's just a black and white situation. I'm pretty sure both sides have done that. But again, I think he will get another chance, assuming that they continue to play like they've done, and maybe they'll have some, a few better games here on defense. But if it kind of keeps the arrow moves forward a little bit, knowing in the offseason who you've got, who your key players are, that they didn't have that. I mean, he built a whole defense for a guy that's now in Green Bay. So I'm not saying built the defense. I'm just saying, had a plan in place. Everybody thought that he was going to be here until he wasn't. All right, let's stay in the state of Utah. Let's go Ben in Utah. Ben.
Hey, Nick. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Excellent. I apologize. I haven't been able to listen to the show, but I think what you were just talking about dovetails into what I wanted to call in about. I think some of our challenges with defense, I'm optimistic that with some continuity, we can get better over time. I think it's hard when you change defensive coordinators every year. But continuity is kind of the question I wanted to bring up from a caller who was very passionate, I think it was yesterday, talking about Jerry and how Jerry is the problem. And
yeah.
I always struggle with the comment of Jerry needs to bring in a football guy, or Jerry and Steven need to bring in a football guy. These guys have been doing it for 40 years. Like, if you just looked at a resume and said, okay, this GM has been doing this for 40 years. He's got, multiple Super Bowl wins, multiple playoff runs, GM of the year. You would think that guy's an amazing GM.
It also been, it's like, I've said that same thing before. It's like, need to bring this guy in. He's done it in the NFL for 30 years. He's won some Super Bowls. He played in college. He was an all-conference player in college way back in the day. That team won a national championship, so he's had some success. I mean, if you wrote all that down, you'd be like, oh, yeah, hire this guy. I mean, which that's who it is. That's Jerry. I mean, that's exactly who he is. Anyways.
And don't get me wrong, last thing I'll say, I know Tuesdays are fast, but I'll say this about Jerry. If I had a gazillion dollars, I would probably do it exactly the same way because I'm a passionate fan. I react emotionally. And I'll say this last thing for Mr. Jones. The man has let me play football on his field without telling me I had to get off. And I got to do that with my wife, and it was an amazing experience. Anyone who does that, I'm in their corner. So I'll say that and get off. Thanks so much, Nick.
Okay. All right. Well, then there probably should be a lot more Jerry Jones fans, because I know every single game there's people out there throwing the ball around after the game. I totally get the frustration. Yes, that was a passionate call yesterday, and that happens. I mean, that's people are frustrated, but Jerry is GM. That's the title he has. I think he'll be the first to tell you that they make decisions, in a collaborative situation. I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of help with that. I'm sorry. I'm watching on NFL Network here. They're showing this handshake between the Packers and the Bears, and they've made this big deal out of this handshake between Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson. And I'm like, guys, it's like 20 degrees outside, and they've been out there for like 4 hours. I mean, who cares what the handshake was? It was like, okay, cool, let's go get out of there. I mean, one guy's pissed, one guy's not. I mean, I've seen some handshakes that weren't so friendly, and that one doesn't take it. Sorry, to get distracted here. Let's go from passionate fans we're talking about. Let's go to Rob in Vegas. Rob, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You start talking about Jerry, it changes my whole mindset.
Nah. Go back to what you have.
I'm not doing it.
Good. I was about to say, man, don't revert, man.
No. I'll wait till a month from now.
Thank you.
My thing, I totally agree with you, and we've had this conversation before. I don't like a head coach who calls the plays, especially one like Schottenheimer, who's never been a head coach. Because what happens is other things suffer. Yeah. And what you see is penalties. We haven't fixed the penalty issue since Mike McCarthy. And he was a play caller.
Yeah.
You just can't focus on everything. The best coaches growing up for me, obviously, Bill Parcells, Belichick, Jimmy Johnson, all walk-around coaches. They had their finger on everything. And you've seen it. You see it in New England right now. I love that head coach. That was the guy I wanted if they weren't going to go for Belichick.
Yeah.
I just think yes, Kansas City did it, but they also had the best quarterback in the NFL. Now you're starting to see certain things happen, but I just think it's I don't like it. I just don't like it. And I agree with you. You can't change now. You got 4 weeks left.
Right.
And I don't think he's ever going to change. I think Jerry, for whatever reason, he likes that lately. Ever since, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, he those are the guys he wants for, whatever reason. I don't know why. It was great last night. I was watching Philly, and I'm like, because if Philly wins yesterday, your season's over.
Mm-hmm. So
it just gives us hope. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know, probably not. The odds are stacked against us. I mean, obviously, I live in Vegas. Odds are a big thing. But you don't know. You know, Philadelphia looks like they're falling apart.
Can that team win a game? I mean, seriously, can that team go cross-country to Philly and win a game?
Well, what's crazy about Philadelphia is, so the guy that is bitching and moaning, not getting the ball.
Yeah.
Ever since they tried to get him the ball, they've lost.
They've lost. I know, and he probably is okay. I don't know this. I don't know this, but I just, yeah.
I always thought Jalen Hurts to me is not a great passer. I always gave him credit for winning. He would win because he would sacrifice his body, but he's not doing that this year. Mm-hmm. He's not running as much. I mean, he ran like crazy against us, but in the first game, but he's not running, and I don't know if he's beat up or whatever. He made a great throw on that third down play. I'm like, oh, here they go. I don't know what he was thinking when he was trying to squeeze that ball in at the end, but I'm glad he did. But listen, we got to take care of business against Minnesota. You know, I don't know what Minnesota is. I know they got a great wide receiver, and I agree with you about Deron Bland. That is my most disappointing player because with this secondary being not very good, if I could have one guy that I could count on to put on maybe the best wide receiver of the other team and just take away some part of the field, I could help the other side. And right now, who do you help? You know?
Right.
So, but listen, I'm just happy because it makes Sunday night something. You know, just give me something. Make it something. I don't want, we're going to play for pride or we're going to play for this or we're playing for next year. It doesn't work that way. You don't carry over anymore. Free agency, there's so much turnaround on these teams. What you do this year has no bearing on next year. That team, it's not like the 90s Cowboys where you could see them building. It was the same team coming back every year.
Right.
You know, so listen, just as a fan, just give me another week.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good stuff. And that's kind of what they've done. You know, thanks, Rob. They've kind of done that. They've kind of, extended it, and it helped that the Eagles lost that game, and that's kind of what you want to do. I mean, you wish the record was better, but it is what it is here. But you're in December. There's 4 games to go, and the Cowboys know exactly what they've got to do. And they're going to need some help along the way too. They can't just go win these 4 games. I don't think that's going to work unless these other teams implode, but I don't feel like they will. All right. Looks like the lines are open here. This is probably going to be the shortest show that we've done because I'm not just going to sit here and talk to you guys and come up with stats and all that. So let's go to break one more time. Let's go to break, and then we'll go and wrap it up. All right. Be right back here on Cowboy Storyline.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that's decked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline here. Got a couple more minutes to go. We do have another caller on the line, so let's go to him. JR in Avondale, Arizona. JR, what's up, man?
Good morning, Nick. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there. Hey, I'm with what Rob kind of said what I was going to say. It gives us hope for another week. I was glad the Eagles lost. And probably sad that I am almost as excited when the Eagles lose as I am when the Cowboys win, but it was a good night. This game, I'm worried a little bit about the Vikings because they have Aaron Jones, and it seems like every time he plays us, he just wears us out. 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. So he's kind of a scary guy, so I'm hoping the defense will step up and stop Aaron Jones, and I believe that the Raiders are going to beat the Eagles this week. I can't tell you why, or I don't know if Pickett gets in there instead of Geno, but I just have a feeling the Eagles are going to lose again. And that's all I got. And I couldn't get the show earlier, so I didn't know what you guys were talking about. But have a great day, Nick, and go Cowboys.
All right. Appreciate the call. That would be pretty wacky if that happened. If the Raiders did that and went to Philly, and maybe if they do change their quarterback a little bit. Pickett was in Philly. I think he played against the Cowboys last year, so that would be great. And I think he's a Pennsylvania guy. Played at Pitt, so be homecoming. Sure, why not? But the Cowboys have to take care of their business too, and we'll see what happens. On that Sunday night, when they take on the Vikings, and there'll be a lot of games happening that day. But they can't worry about that. I mean, like you said, Aaron Jones has been tough on the Cowboys for sure. And he's a good player that, out of the backfield that, he's not Jahmyr Gibbs, but what we saw in that game is a versatile player that can catch the ball out of the backfield and run it. And he gave the Cowboys fits. Now, Aaron Jones is not that type of guy. I don't think there is anyone in the league like that. But he's still productive, and they got Jefferson, and they just pitched a shutout. So we'll see. I mean, this is the toughest challenge for the Cowboys because it's the next one. But like we've said all show long, they have a shot because they're still in it here. It's 4 games to go, and that's all you can really ask for. All right. It's been a good show, guys. Appreciate all the calls and support. We do it every day at 10 a.m. on Central Time. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We will see you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!